What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. We got Al in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert, Andy, Cheryl, Emily is in the house. Good morning to Jeff, Joe, John, Keith, Lauren, Shane, Tim is in the house. All my people out in YouTube land. I got the one screen again, so we're just going back and forth. But M Sky, good morning to you. MCD Swing, we'll take a look at that. Real virtual demand. Good morning to you as well. All my people, all my lurkers out there in YouTube land are just not gonna say nothing all day today. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. But yeah, this is the market that just refuses to drop. So if the market was open on Thursday, we would have seen a decent amount of volatility. I think Wednesday night, uh, Iran bombed Israel and bombed some hospitals. The market not loving it, but comes right back. And then I think there was some headlines from Trump saying that he's probably going to take about 2 weeks to decide if he wants to go into Iran and get involved in the war. So that gives us a little bit more breathing room. And yeah, the market seems to be bouncing a little bit off of it. Good enough bounce though? I don't know. Also today is quad witching day, so you're gonna get some sporadic moves, probably especially toward the close of the day, maybe a little bit to the very beginning, and then we've seen a lot of the quad witching kind of quiet down a little bit in terms of not really making crazy moves. It used to back in the day, but for whatever reason, it's like the last 15 minutes now, the first 15 minutes of the day, and then we might get some normal market behavior. We will see. In terms of the SPY, uh, the impressive part for the SPY is let's pull up this 15-minute chart. Yeah, they're not going to show it. TOS is going to show it. They're just going to act like nothing happened. It's very deceiving. But yeah, we were getting absolutely murdered Wednesday morning, and then we've rallied back a lot since then. Look for a really good resistance to the way up. So my target to the higher side is not too far from here. This is 598.11. So we'll see if we come up a little bit higher from here, 598.15, something like that. Um, Otherwise, to the downside, we have 597.04, and then let's pretend yesterday did not happen. There was no futures trading. It was just a standard day off. That just puts us right back to kind of an inside day candle. We've been down to these levels before, so potentially if we uh 596.97 to the low end, we've been there now twice. It is a little bit easier to break down. The next spot, which we've already been to, 596.15, and that throws us back to like 594.64 would be my lower target. I'd like to see some bulls step in if we do start to sell off. Otherwise, we start climbing above this 598.11 zone. There's not too much stopping us into 599.34 and then into 599.90. So right before that 600 number. So we'll see how that plays out. Otherwise, yeah, little bit of just okay open, but the fact that the Bulls stepped in as hard as they did from the futures is still pretty impressive on the bull side of things. You got Q's, uh, Q's nice gap up into a very big resistance. I'd like to see where the Q's open. I have good resistance somewhere around 531.48. We're at 531.28. So not much more room higher. If we can get above it, you got your next level right above you, 532.09. And then you got 533.11. And then a big one, 534.34-ish. So we'll see if bulls can keep going. To the downside, if they cannot, you're looking for some kind of retest into 530.26, maybe into like 529.35. So somewhere in that range would be decent spots, but you are opening into a pretty big resistance on Qs at open for today. Let's check out Bitcoin, BTC, USD. Surviving. Pretty good day so far for Bitcoin land. That one's gonna have some resistance. Got to get back above this 106.967, but we are above 105. That's a pretty key number at least. Most likely, even if you get a pullback on this one, I think it's only a small pullback. Look for like 105.779 to hold, and then I think targets for today 106.913. If we break through that, you got 107.730. So we'll see. We'll see how that one wants to pan out, but still very much in this It's back and forth, it's just sideways chop, but essentially we're just putting in some kind of pennant pattern on Bitcoin, which can help out for that next big move. MCD was the first one I saw for a swing trade. Um, Down quite a bit. This would be an interesting area in terms of volume to try to like. We're kind of at the lower end, almost a little bit too low for where I'd like to step in. Um, I think your swing trade is actually going to be to the bear side if you start getting underneath probably about 287.29. You have a few levels that could hold you up. A couple volume zones, 283.27 is a small one. Otherwise, I think I even have a target over here. Oh, that was from a different trade. Um, but otherwise, I think you got room into like 269, something like that. Again, it's McDonald's. For some reason, you get big candles in this, but it's pretty steady. They're not earnings around the corner if you want to try to take it. I don't think I'd be buying this dip if that's what you're implying for your swing trade. You did break through a key level 295.04. This is now 2 days in a row. We got to close underneath. Even today, got a little bit of a gap and go. But good company. It is a dip. It might be bought up. I would need to see another candle or two to really. This looks like a pretty big breakdown on Mickey D's. And again, we've been to all of these areas before, but something like this kind of curve that line at the end. But something like that should have been the support. That is a pretty phenomenal gap down, and I think you're just kind of getting that further through. So to the bull side, not yet. To the bear side, I think you have a better opportunity so far. Or if you want to be bullish, I would wait on that one. DELL. Dell Computers. Dell Technology. Uh, Pretty fantastic open. I don't know about the range on it. You got your next target to about 120.32. It's probably not the next target. The next target is probably about 119.84, all the way up to about that 120.44 zone. So that doesn't give me too much room unless we think that's going to break. If we think that's going to break, you got 124.39, which that would set us up for a decent target. Other than that, what I do like is I got my higher volume price at somewhere right around this 116.98 zone. We got through that on. I'm so thrown off with my days of the week at this point. It feels so weird being back on. It's like Friday, but then we had a day off. I don't know. So what day was that? That was Wednesday. Yep. So if we got through that spot, we just didn't hold. We had a little inverted hammer that could have turned into a little danger. The fact that you are gapping above the VPOC from Wednesday, you're gapping above this 116.98 zone. Still inside day at the very high end of that candle. I think if you're going to try to take this one, see if this one could pull back to like 117.21. But the bulls are showing up today on it. It looks good. I'm a little concerned about some of those targets up there. We could definitely take some of those out. I don't know if it's easier to take those out or not, but it's 120.32 somewhere in that zone could cause a little problem. So if we could buy a dip on this one, I think that'd be decent. Let's get this one higher on the list. And then SMCI. SMCI, we got uh the candle looks similar. The chart actually looks a little similar to Dell as well. This one's been above a good spot. Yeah, if you're bullish or if you want to swing trade this one, I kind of like it. I'd have stops anywhere below probably about $42. I don't really want to see 42.37 get taken out. Same thing, inside day candle. You are at the very high end of Wednesday's candle. You have a resistance right above you, somewhere around 45.82. If it breaks 45.82, that might be your sign to buy it. Um, to see if you get continued run up. It has a lot of room on it. 53.79 would be my next spot. Other than that, I think for today at least, you're trying to wait for a little bit of a pullback at first, which would be somewhere around 44.38. And then see if that holds. Again, for even for a swing trade basis, underneath 42, I think would be decent to have your stop placement. Don't really want to see that start breaking out or breaking down. That means we're taking out some key levels, plus that 200, plus the 20. It's got a lagger on the 50 and the 100, but yeah, looks decent. Been consolidating for a while. I kind of like it bullish. Coinbase. Coinbase. Uh, well, we got off of chips, Jeff. We'll go back though. For you, Jeff, we'll go back. No problem. Um, what a day we had on Coinbase on Wednesday. I think they came out with some news about some payment processing thing. Market loves it. Um, we also had the Genius bill get passed, which we didn't really have any reaction. Again, that bill was kind of forecasted already. But yeah, this is quite the move that we put in on Wednesday. So now we're opening at 306.50. That was like a $50 candle. Yep, just about a $50 candle. We put it on Wednesday. So there's a lot of people in this thing profitable. You are opening into a little bit of resistance. I don't really want to go long on it up here. I'd rather be looking for a fade, but that is a strong move, and obviously the bulls are still here. Targets on a fade would be 292.68. Look for that to be some kind of support. See if buyers also step in there at that level. However, can this thing go higher? Yeah, I think absolutely. Depends on where this opens. If we open above 306.09 and where we at 306.67, that is a very, very strong open. Your next spot, somewhere about, I don't know, 307, 307.01. Starting to get into a little sticky area at this point, and then I think your next bigger target, if we take all those out, 312.59. So let's see if it continues. That is a impressive Wednesday candle, though. It's also a retest gap for today. So I think I want to stay away. But this market is ruthless for bulls. I don't think I really want to play this one bullish. I don't even know where I would throw my stop if I did. I would need some kind of intraday setup candle, maybe a double bottom, something to look for in that. Otherwise, where do I throw my stop? I guess at least under 292.31, and that's just a guess. So, and that's a wide one. DraftKings DKNG. This one looks like it's been quietly setting up for a little bit. I've been watching this one. I have positions in it, so I'm already in it. But yeah, key level on this one is $38.04. You had a ton of resistance also at $39. That is also today's VPOC zone. But this one has been quietly just sitting around, hanging around. We've been starting to get through some of those key levels. It looks good to keep going. I don't know about today though. Today, look for your high target of $40.49. Same thing like Coinbase. This is a retest gap, so I would tell me probably not to be the buyer of this one today, but maybe if you pull back into that $39 zone, so 39.06, something like that, might get you a better at least entry price. Stops on this one for a swing trade would be about 36.25. Otherwise, any stops below 38, I think is good for a day trade. So let's see, but structurally decent. They've been coming back. You don't really have anything else holding you back price wise to about 41.72. Besides obviously some little key levels. So I'd want to be more bullish than bearish on DraftKings. It does look like it's starting to set up, and nobody's been talking about DraftKings. I'm glad you mentioned that one, but yeah, I've been watching that one. It's been looking like it's trying. SoFi Technologies. Are we going to see these charts all look kind of similar today? Strong day, good close. Another one we've been kind of watching for a little bit, but very, very strong close on this one. You have that gap up, at least on SoFi, and it is still a retest gap, so maybe wait for a little pullback. That pullback, we might not see Wednesday's retest zone. A really good attempt would be somewhere around 1509 if we get there. I'm not sure that we do today. See if we get some kind of 1544 print. See if bulls want to step in there. And then I think your next target is probably about 1588. And then I think a little bit longer term. I don't know about today, but probably about $16.80 I think would be a good target on SoFi. AMD. Let's get some of these things off. Yeah, another good gap on AMD. We've got 2 days of consolidation. Both of those days essentially refused to break down, although we had a close right around that spot, 126.89. So a little bit leaning bearish toward the end of the day. We did break that VPOC. This is a really good gap today, I think. AMD, I don't know. It's been so tricky. Again, 129.54. That is your next resistance. We've been there. I think you get through it. Next resistance after that, 130.32. We've been there. I think we could get through that. And then you got 132.63. This might be one where some of those options, though, quad witching might affect this one. So I don't think I want to hold this one into the end of the day, but it is a really, really good gap up. Still inside day, so we still might see a little chop at open, see if there's a little pullback. Otherwise, look for some pre-market break, look for some pre-market levels and see if you could maybe take a breakout, and just in case there's a opening flying candle on this one. But really, really good gap. I like that one. Let's get that one higher. Let's also check out Nvidia since we're back on chips. Nvidia, again, a little bit of a retest gap, not too much of a retest that we need. Bulls still trying to keep this thing opening high. So 145.15. The only thing with this one, I think I would like, and Nvidia obviously is still Nvidia. We are kind of high up here. Other than that, you got 146.23, and then you got 146.86. Really good close on Nvidia. It looks to me like the market wants to take the pricing higher on this one. We do have an untested VPOC all the way back to this 150, 119. So I think eventually we get there. You might have it's either Nvidia wakes up, market opens, this thing just rips through all those resistance, or if it doesn't, I'd probably want to be focused on AMD or SMCI. I think today, um, I think they have just bigger ranges in it before you get to the resistance, but it does look like they're still pushing. Yeah, triple witching. Yeah, it's, quad witching. I think. hmm I believe so. I believe so. Uh, Tessie. Let's go to Tessie. Levi. I just typed your name in. All right, Tesla. There, let's try that one. Let's give that one a go. Tessie has some news. I think they are debuting today the Robo Taxi in Austin, Texas. So a little excitement there. Starting to hear more headlines about the Robo Taxi coming out. I think they also did some deal with China too. Something about I can't even pretend to know what the topic is about. It's storage banks, the first one in China, some energy storage bank. I don't know. That sounds cool to me, I guess. But Robotaxi, I understand that concept. Car without driver, that makes sense to me. Other than that, inside day, it was still a technically this is a green day Wednesday, so this would be a little bit of a retest gap. However, significance of that green candle, I think, is diminished by that big red candle. So I would treat this as a little bit more like a gap and go. Still got some sticky lines ahead of you. You got 329.12, and then you got probably about 330.47. However, looks fairly decent at these levels. So if we could get through this, that is a good gap and go. Again, essentially all we've really done on Tesla, and I know it drives people crazy, but we are above this candle still. Even with today's open, we're above that. That was high volume that came in on that panic day Twitter feud with the president and Musk. Um, since we've rallied back, we've just been putting in a bullish pennant pattern. So I still think Tessie, and this is a good gap outside of that. Let's see if that's outside that gap, something like that. Right at it, right at it. I think Tessie would be a good high wave candle today. We had a great trade on it on Wednesday. I keep wanting to say Friday. I'm not going to shake that habit. But yeah, good day on Wednesday with it, and I'd be interested. I'd be interested to go again. The biggest difference from today than Wednesday is the location. So this is the level that we got in at, right at the lower level of this, and then that gives us this much room before retest. We're opening now above these candles. Still looks good. Still looks strong. However, if we even on a small retest we get in here, this still could be a very big resistance for today. So we have a lot less room on Tessie unless it could break out, and that is a decent. I would call it a gap and go, just because it's mainly that red candle I'm dealing with. So yeah, I'd still be bullish on it. I think it looks good. I think I'd have to be patient and open on this one. See if you get a small pullback. See what happens at 327.22 on that one. CRCL. Yep, been going crazy on this one. Look at this chart. Unbelievable. It was this the first day, or is this TradingView not giving me the correct info? I think Circle's been trading for more than this. I know it was a recent IPO, I guess, but um, something seems off about the data that TradingView is giving me. Nonetheless, yeah, big move on this one. Yeah, this is not the right chart, I don't think. I think there's more days of trading before this. Not sure why. I've been noticing that lately with TradingView. I'll pull up a stock. It's only pre-market, and then as soon as the market opens, they add all the other candles back. It's kind of driving me a little nuts, but good move on this one. If you're already in this thing again, it's got the story, it's got the momentum, it's got everything you want to see to be bullish on a stock. Um, but you'd want to see it prior to 229.54. I think we're a little high up there, and I know people probably still going to try to FOMO and jump into this one. June 5th is correct. That's the correct day you got. So if that is correct, I could have swore on TOS though it was more candles when I was looking at it before. I was looking at this one early this morning. But yeah, he went from $64 all the way up to now 229. And if June 5th is the correct date, less than a month, you're up over 200%, something like that. Wild move. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stay away from it. I'll let everybody else have fun. I don't. I love to have the to be in there with everybody on that one, but sometimes I'll go with some quieter ones with less stress maybe. But yeah, congrats if you do have positions on that one. That does look good. You got Oracle chilling for now. Again, 3 days consolidation, not bad. You have a resistance right above you at 212. You also have your support at 210.93. It's an inside day below that first resistance. I think if you're going to try this one, see if this one wants to pull back to this 210.94 zone, and then your stop's probably going to be under 207. And then you got to climb through this 214, but good gap up, nice follow through, and we're just kind of resting at this point. Next couple months, it will be a buy 20-ish, yeah. But we'll see. So, I mean, I don't think any of the valuation makes sense, but we'll see if they kind of keep it up there for, see how long they can keep this game going. GMS, is this uh, they're getting offers from, I think, Home Depot. Yeah, they had a bid from, I think it was QXS, I believe, for a buyout. And now you have Home Depot coming in to offer a higher buyout price for them. So definitely some news on this one. Really big gap up. I don't know what the Home Depot offer was. I think the QXS was about $94, $95. So if the offer is about 105, 104 from Home Depot, this move has already happened. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to drop, but if you're in this stock and then Home Depot is the latest offer in the stock and they're essentially paying the current price now, the market's already priced in that entire offer. So I would be careful on this one. If it for day trading, if it gets above 104.78 and that Home Depot offer is higher, then you might have some more room. Not necessarily have to play the fade on this one. I think it probably just chops. I like it a little bit more to the downside than to the higher side at this point, I think. I think if you're in this one and then you're already at the offer, it makes sense to just lock gains in. And then see if you get a pullback into the eventual $90 range. And I think that'd be your better play on that one. Yeah, interest rates in July. I think it was Fed Waller was saying today he's thinking there's going to be interest rates in July. So I did see that one floating around there too. So now you got the interest rate talk. Jerome Powell didn't really say much. You had the SEP report, the SEP come out. It was pretty much unchanged. I think two Fed members changed a little bit, but for the majority of them, they stayed in the same range, which is still bullish for the market. They didn't increase rates. It doesn't look like they're too like having too much fear, too much panic. And then Jerome Powell did say, he basically said that if we did not have tariffs, if there was no tariff talk, we would be lowering interest rates today, which is June. So he's close. He's close to an interest rate cut. and then he just wants to see what the next couple data points that come out and see if it's good. But he still looked like he was trying to push it off as much as possible. It looks like a lot of the Fed is ready to drop some of those rates. So Kroger, that's a good gap up. Lots of volume on Wednesday. That might have some legs. I'm not sure how far this one goes, but you got 67.75 is your next target, and then you got 68.15. Let's see what the news is on Kroger. Kroger raised its 2025 sales growth forecasts. Okay. Company confirmed it adjusted earnings. Got you. All right. So a little bit of an earnings gap. They did beat on EPS 2.47. And then they did lose 43 million, so kind of a mixed report, but it does look like they're increasing their guidance as well. So um, I don't know. I don't know. It is most of that volume is coming from the report, and it's still a little choppy, but good gap and go at least. I'm just not sure on targets. Microsoft gapping up to all-time highs. Interesting. Again, that is a heck of a lot of buying into this gap up. It is gapping into all-time highs. Literally every single person who has ever bought Microsoft shares is up today on their Microsoft position. Decent amount of consolidation, but even the last 3 days were all green candles as well. I don't know. I don't know if I want to chase this one. Some of these stocks, especially 2025, you'll get these all-time high gaps and they just keep going. It's either, here's my two candles for today. I'm going to draw them out. This is the only two options that I see happening on Microsoft today. Either we open here and then you get this one candle kind of pulls back and then we get some kind of close, looks like this. Or this is the other option. We open in that same spot and then this is our candle for today. It's all green. One of those two is there's no in between. That's the only two things that happen in 2025 when the stock looks exactly like this. We have this big run up, and then there's just nobody either. It's either everybody wants to take profit or nobody wants to take profit whatsoever. So, and then you get FOMOers go, oh, all time high. Let me buy. Let me get some of that. But that is almost the morning bell. We got Aklo. Do we have time for one more? Aklo. Aklo for right now, just kind of hanging out. Decent location for open. Next resistance, watch for $64. If you get past that, you got room to 66.77. And then some support right below you on HIMS. Oh, my volume is too loud. That's a really good gap on HIMS. I like that one. See if you get a small little pullback though. At least 62.14. If not, maybe a full retest. I don't really want to see that full retest of 60.60. I think that looks decent for some continuation in the bullish direction. I like that open. Other than that, everybody in YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. Otherwise, yeah, we got 2 more days off. And then I'll catch you guys on Monday. I'll catch you then. Later, guys.